Hi guys, hope you're doing well. And today I want to show you the Z-Man Mini Max. And what this is their new version of the Chatterbait, but it's a small, compact version that I think is going to be awesome. So I want to show you first off, comparing it to, this is just a Z-Man Jackhammer right here. This is a ½ ounce. It's also a ½ ounce Mini Max. So you can see right there, just by the profile of the bait, it's a lot smaller, more compact, got a smaller hook in it. It's got a 2.0 heavy duty black nickel hook in it. You can see when you grab a hold of that, you can't bend it at all. It's solid in place there. You can see the blade size. It's almost probably half the size of it. So it's gonna be a tighter vibration. It's gonna be quicker. And I'm really excited to put some time in fishing with this. So I have not used it a ton yet. Like I said, I've thrown it a couple times. I got to feel the vibration of it. But I have not picked my favorite trailer yet. So like with the Jackhammer, I'm always a Razor Shad guy. That's my go-to. I put that on every one of them. But with this Mini Max, it's gonna be a little bit too small, I believe, for it. So I'm gonna go through, I laid out a bunch of different options here. We're gonna try rigging them, we're gonna cut them up and figure out what I think is the best. And if you guys have a better option, I'd love to hear it. Z-Man makes a lot of good baits that are trimmable and they're super durable, being that Elastex, so you don't have to worry about them ripping up on you. It's great for like this Mini Max you can see here. They have a dual barb system here, 2 pieces of the lead on the shank there. So once you get that Elastex snapped up over it, it's gonna hold it there nice and tight. This weed guard, brush, this, sorry about that. The jig skirt is held up, it's wired on there, so it's not going anywhere. It's like hand tied, it's got the wire on it, so you don't have to worry about your skirt going anywhere. So let's start playing with this and see what we can figure out. One of the first baits that I wanted to pick up, we can see here, is the baby goat. I think this might be the best one that we're gonna find, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna go through them all. So here's a baby goat that I already have out of the package. This is in the deal, and it's got 2 little legs on it that will kick a lot, so it'll move a lot of water. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold this bait up just like this, and I'm gonna just kind of measure it. So you gotta figure out where you want your soft plastic to butt up to. So if it's going right here, and then you wanna have your jig skirt hanging down. What I like to see from my trailer is that the part of the trailer that's gonna be moving and pushing water other than the vibration of the jig, I want that to be not interrupted by this jig skirt at all. So this is actually pretty good. You can see if you put a full-size baby goat on there, you got both of those legs, they're gonna be kicking away. So let's rig this up on there and see what happens. I think I'll be pretty happy with this one. When you're rigging this, just make sure you get it as straight as possible. You don't want it to kick out to the side one way or the other. Grab a hold of it, you know, that Elastex, it's a little bit tricky, so get behind it a bunch, push up, and you'll eventually feel it kind of pop. And when it does that, it's popping over those lead barriers, the little guards there. And let's see if we can get a hold of this. And there you go. That's the baby goat rigged that way. I think that'll move some water. It's not gonna be the most aggressive, not gonna be pushing a ton of it, but it's gonna do a good job. It bulks it up a hair. It might be slightly on the smaller side, but we can play with it a little bit more and see what else we got. It would be a good crawl imitator. So let's go to the next one that we can see the turbo crawls. Hold this guy up here. Now see that? I think that's gonna be too big. When you look at it, it's got too much length here for my liking. So if I'm gonna use the turbo crawl, I'm gonna have to shorten it. I'm gonna have to cut some of this body off here. So I'm gonna keep looking at it here and see if we can determine about where I would want it to come out. I'd probably go right about there because that would get me the skirt. So I'm gonna cut off probably a ½ inch of that bait. Scissors are a great way to cut Elastex. I got a pair of electrical snippers here. That's what I had available. I couldn't find my scissors, but they're in my boat down in Florida still. So cut that, peel it off, throw that excess away. And now we're gonna try rigging this turbo crawl on there. I think this is gonna be a good length. One of those things you gotta play with again. You're gonna take it, feed it up, pop that out. I'm gonna grab a hold of it again, push it until it kicks a little bit. And there we go. That is the turbo crawl in there. And I like that actually a little bit because if you haven't tried the turbo crawl before, it pushes a lot of water. I use it on a swim jig a lot. It kicks out there. Does a good job. So we're gonna take a look at that. And this is one that might be in consideration. I'm gonna put that on my trailer list to try when I get this bait out there and really start using it a lot. I kind of like how that fits. I'm not typically a big user of crawl style baits on my Jackhammer. So like the Razor Shad is the only trailer I throw. I love it. I know how to control it depth wise. This, it might actually have too much lift, so it might pick up the bait too much, especially this is a 1/2 ounce, so that's the deepest it'll go. There's also a 3/8 and a 1/4 ounce, so you're gonna have to play with the bait trailer sizes depending on which size head you're throwing and what you're trying to get out of it as well. So I like that. I'm gonna consider it. We're gonna go on to the next one, see what else we got here. Like we said, we gotta try the baby goat. We tried let's actually, before we get away from the crawl trailers, let's go right to the actual, just the goat itself. I want to show you this compared to the baby goat. You can see it's considerably bigger. It's got a lot more bulky action body on it. Looking at that, if you didn't cut it at all, that's way too big. If you cut it a little bit, I have a hard time feeling that this is going to be the one I want. It's too big of a bait. I'm not going to go with the goat on there. So let's keep moving. The next one, I could show you a Razor Shad just real quick. I also believe this is going to be too big of a trailer on it, just based off the hook size. When I look at that, you can see you're holding that bait up to it. How about that fire crawl? Fire crawl looks great. It's got a lot of tail behind it. I'll put it on there actually just to really get a good look at it. But I think it's going to be a little too much. It's going to kind of overpower the bait itself. Let's see. So we can compare it to. Yeah. It's not... I might have to try it a little bit. I think it's going to be too bulky of a bait. I wish we always need a smaller body of the Razor Shad there. So like where you can see that hook comes way down on the Jackhammer, you can see it doesn't come nearly as far. So I feel like the hook up, unless those fish are really eating it, you're probably going to get a lot of short strikes. And the problem with throwing a Razor Shad there then is I don't think you're going to get the... you can't really cut it. You'd have to like really form it to make that smaller to be usable. I don't think the Razor Shad is the best. I think that's sticking with that with your Jackhammer. Let's keep moving on. What's the next one we got? There's two here. I like these. I think this might be the best option. This is what I kind of thought about a little bit. And I was going to start putting them on before I talked to you, but I wanted to do it just kind of live, show you as we went along. So this is a diesel minnow. This is the 4-inch. And the colors, they're just what I grabbed first. I would actually match them up to the bait if I was rigging them up to tie on right away. But let's see, we're gonna take this diesel minnow. It's got that boot tail on it. Gotta rig it, get it to come out. Make sure you get it nice and straight. That's important for when you're throwing this. It's kind of cool here. You can see, I'm gonna hold them upside down for a second. Get that, is that straight? A little too far, hang on. Let me get this a little bit better. I would not make a cast of that one. I did not like how that looked. All right, there we go. So what's cool about this, you can see it's kind of a clear bait in there, so you can see exactly how that hook goes. I kind of like that one. It looks nice that direction. Let's see if we grab it by the blade here. Not totally against it. I think, yeah, it's pretty good. It could be, it's a hair big. I would like to have a little bit less plastic. You can see the gap out there. A lot of this is just that little top fin, so that's gonna fold down out of the way. But same thing, it might be a little bit too much for the lifting of it. But let's try, you know what we need to do? We need to grab that minnows. Let's grab that. That's the 3-inch version of the diesel minnow. This is the same color. This is blue glimmer, or pearl blue glimmer. Really good color, I really like it. This could be the winner though. I think this this could be it. Let's see. All right. Feed this up on there. And what this is, it's just a little bit smaller. The body profile is a little bit smaller on it as well. Grab a hold of there. Yeah. Now I see what I really like about this. You can see how we were talking originally about having that skirt material just above it, where it still lets that action of the tail really kick, and that does that right there. That's going to be good action there. It's not, I like that it's a little bit thinner than when we were talking about that diesel minnow, so you get a better hook gap there, so when those fish grab a hold of it, you're really going to be able to bury that in their mouth and get it good. I really like that one. I would say between this, I like that turbo crawl a little bit. I'm afraid it's going to lift it up too much like we were saying, but that might be our best all-around option so far. What other ones we got here to try? I grabbed two other. I grabbed a Streaks, which is a 3.75, and I grabbed the regular Streaks, which is a 5-inch. So it's just, I'm gonna open. I like this one the most so far, so we're gonna leave him rigged up actually. I'm gonna grab another bait here. Let's open this guy. This is a 3/8 ounce one. So that'll be good. We'll clean this up, get this trash out of the way. We got this Mini Max here, 3/8 like I said. Same hook, same everything. And we're gonna feed this 3.75-inch Streaks, which I think this on drop shot a lot. Works really well. Catch a lot of fish on that. So let's see if it looks like a good trailer. We're gonna work this up. The same thing, you can really see through this one. It's clear bait. There we go. Snap in there. Now, that's not bad. If you're going for something really finessey and you don't want this bait to be rolling over and you want to keep it down a little deeper, that's a good option right there. That's gonna look really natural in front of, like if you're fishing like a little shad spawn or something where you want to keep this bait moving fast, keep it high in the water column, that might be a good one. You can see the Streaks here. This is it's got those little fluke style tails where it's gonna kick around. I'm gonna leave that one rigged up too. So I want to show you these all at the end. We'll look at them together. The last one here is the full size 5-inch Streaks. We're gonna put this on. There's one color I wanted to show you guys. This one, it's called Gizzard Shad. This is a 1/4 ounce head, so it's a little bit smaller, but everything else is the same. And if I was doing this for size wise, you couldn't use this one, but this is a 5-inch Streaks. This is gonna be, let's see, it's a lot of bait. I think it's gonna be too big. We're gonna rig it up here just to take a look since we've got them all kind of squared away, but let's see. There, get a hold of the blade. It's actually not terrible. That's not bad. I might have to throw that one a little bit too. So, depending on exactly what you're going for. If you're going for a really small compact profile, that's probably where you go with that 3.75 Streaks. But the 5-inch one isn't like obnoxiously large. You can see this same thing there. It would just kind of kick behind it. It would just kind of give it a real like quick flap in action. That last tag on this guy is super stretchy. I think that might be a good one though. The only thing I can really do is try them all out on the water. And this might be one of those baits where you can't just, like the Jackhammer, I pick up a razor shad and I go with it. This one I might have to play with. It might be a lot more condition based. You can see there compared the 5-inch Streaks versus the 3-inch minnows. They both look pretty good there. Same skirt length. This one's a little more compact. It's a little bulkier. And then you can compare it to this guy. We're definitely gonna have to play with this. I don't know. I really like, I'm down to these three for sure. I think that's gonna be the best bet for when you're trying to mimic at least a bait fish. If you're trying to mimic more of a crawl, I wouldn't be against that turbo crawl, or the if you're trying to go real subtle, go with that baby goat. But the big goat, the full-size goat, too much. I think that 4-inch diesel minnow, too much for it as well. So that's what I would narrow it down to. I'm really excited to get out here and try the diesel, or the Z-Man Mini Max. I'm gonna keep you guys updated. I'll hopefully have some fish catches, because I really think this is gonna be a smallmouth killer. And when you get into those tournaments where the largemouth are super pressured, it might be a nice little change of pace bait, and you might be able to catch a couple more because of it. So thanks for watching. If you do me a huge favor, please subscribe. And if you have a question, or I'd like to know what bait you think looks the best on the back of one of these mini maxes, put them in the comments below. And if you have any other thoughts, let me know, and follow me on Instagram, Facebook for all your fishing needs and tips. Thanks, and have a great day.